Hello, my crafty friends. I heard somebody say recently that they didn't join in on the Painty paper swaps because they didn't have a Gelli plate. And I thought that there were plenty of people doing videos that proved you don't have to have a Gelli plate to make beautiful Painty papers. But I decided I would do another one since there were people who obviously think that's necessary in order to make Painty papers, and it's definitely not. I do use a lot of the same things that I use on my Gelli plate when I'm not on a Gelli plate. One thing you can do, if you've got scrapbooking scissors, these are creative memories from 25 years ago. Well, probably 20 years ago. Anyway, you can take your credit card and just trim it. Let's see if I can get it in the right spot there. You kind of have to be careful in order to keep the thing going all the way across. But you can make a texture tool like that you can scrape in the paint. This one's with one that's regular credit card strength. And then this is one that somebody was trying to sell me insurance and they sent it to me. It's not quite as sturdy as that one, but it'll work too. Come on back here to the right place. The first time I made one of these, I wasn't paying a whole lot of attention to how I was cutting them, and so my it wasn't even all the way across. One of them was cut in half or something because I didn't place it right. But once you've got your paint on the paper, you can scrape into this, and it'll look kind of like those paste papers, or like the ones you do on the Gelli plate. You can also just scrape paint on like this, and if you want smaller scrapes, you can use a littler card. We'll do some of both of those. I also use these scissors and cut into fun foam. And I did this for the Gelli plate because these are kind of sharp and I didn't want to ruin my Gelli plate. So I only use these on paper, not on the Gelli plate. But these you can use on the Gelli plate. It's the same pattern from the same scissors, just they're just softer. And since I've done them in a card to use on the paper, I won't use those today. But I was just showing you, you can use pretty much the same things. I've got a comb that you can do the same kind of thing with. I've got texture plates that I made for using on the Gelli plate. It won't be quite the same on here, but it does work somewhat. So you can put textures and things on here. Got one of these little coaster things, and of course our lovely hot pad. And then I've got a filter for my humidifier that wasn't the right one, and so I took it apart. I couldn't find the right one, so I got a bigger one and took it apart, and I used the part that would work, and this was left over, so I decided I would use it on the Gelli plate. But I think it'll work here too. So we're going to play with all these things. And then of course you've got circle tools, and you've got the paper towel holder things. I finally got my roller, Janet. I had been just rolling them by hand like this. Well, that's very messy on your hand. It works, but it's very messy. This will be a lot better. So we got that we can play with. And you can see the paint flaking off of those. And I'm going to put these scissors away because we don't need those. I've also got a couple of pencils here that I put these add-on erasers, and then I cut nicks in them. And this one has 2 nicks, so it'll make 3 lines, and this one makes 2 lines, and you can draw in the paint with that. I've also got a toy car, which I've had for a while, but haven't ever. I bought it to use just like Janet did. I bought this, months ago to use on the jelly plate, but it was buried underneath stuff, and I forgot about it till I saw hers. So I've got that we'll play with. Now for some of these things, you're going to need, and I've also got one of these that I made with fun foam flowers, and this little, it's a face scrubby thing, but it's got different textures on it, which I think will be fun. And then of course your brayers. This is the one I use on the jelly plate most of the time, and I have this littler one that I use on the small jelly plates. This is a wonky, sad little brayer that I ordered off of eBay. Came from China. It's nothing about it is straight, and I've used it a lot, but you do a few rolls and it starts unscrewing itself here. And so so I went and used my 50% off coupon at Michael's, and I bought this one. It is a little bit bigger than this one, and she calls this one a 3-inch brayer, but this one was called a 2-inch brayer, and you can see there's not a whole lot of difference between them. But this one I think will work a lot better. This is a 4-inch brayer, and I've used it forever. And you can just, after you use it a long time, you can just clean off the goopy paint and start again. But I kind of let it build up on mine. I don't worry about it too much. Then I'll go clean it off later. I'm one of those bad people that doesn't clean things every time they use them. So anyway, I want to work on, I've got a few more Painty papers I've got to get finished in order to mail out my swap. And so I want to work on some of those. And I'm going to start just, I'm doing it the easy way. You don't have to do it this way. But I'm just going to put some paint on here and then use the brayer on it. And I'm going to show you this little brayer here and just brayer it off. Whoops. I don't really want to get the paint underneath it because I've already got this page done. So I'm kind of having to be a little more careful than you would if this was your first side. And I'm just going to go ahead and brayer that off. And then I'm going to add, what's on the back of this? I wasn't thinking, I didn't really want to do greens again. So let's add some blue to that. Here's a, oops, just dropped one in the trash. Don't want to do that. Here's a kind of a turquoise color. I got this at the thrift store. It's phthalo turquoise. I got it for $1. So we'll put a little of that on there. See? Then it doesn't work until you put it back together. So I think I'm going to go ahead and break in my new brayer here for in a second. Okay, now I want to put some other kind of color on it. I think I'm going to do a we'll do some red. Okay, this one does not want to roll. Well, that's disappointing. Oh, you have to really press down. Okay, I'm not used to having to press down. No, there's my dog wanting in. Just a second. Let me go let him in so we don't have to listen to him. Come on. Oh waited just long enough that my daughter let him in the house, so I don't have to worry about it. Okay, now then, we don't have a lot of paint on here, so this might not pull up a whole lot, but I'm going to go ahead and see if we can pull up some paint with that and leave some texture. And it did. And then we'll put it down, see if we can put it down there. Some of my texture came off. So let's try this little one. Just, well, I think it may be too dry for that. Yeah, I think I need a little more paint. But anyway, there's that side, and I like it. It's pretty. And no jelly plate. Okay. I've got paint down here that I need to spread out so it can dry real quick. And let's roll this off. Okay. You can also, you know, use a paintbrush. That's no problem with using a paintbrush. Okay. I'm going to put some gold on this one. I'm almost out of this. Okay. You know, it's amazing how long you can be almost out of something and still have it. I feel like I've been saying for a month and a half, I'm almost out of this, but it's still. Okay. Just go ahead and roll that off. And it's kind of rolling up on me. Don't want that if I can help it. Let's do some bronze. I mean copper. I have bronze too, but I don't like it as much as I do the gold and the copper. Okay. Okay, I'm going to go this way just to let this sprayer make some little marks in it a little bit and kind of blend it out a little bit better. The thinner you can get your paint, the faster it dries, so that's nice too. I don't clean my braiders with water very often, but I do roll them off every time I use them so they don't keep glumpy stuff on them. I want to go ahead and do some stamping with stuff on here. Oh, I was going to try this. Let's see. I may have waited too long. Now you can see some of it. Okay. Too many ideas and too little time. Okay. But I do want to stamp some flowers, I think, on there. And I want to do those in, what color's on the back? Okay. We'll do them in some orange here. No. We'll use some of this. fuchsia, Dina Wakley. This is my favorite color of her paints. Okay. Let's. All right, let's just put a few flowers on here. Ooh, I let that one slide. When the paint's wet, it will kind of do that. Let's see if we can get this back on that one. And there we go. Let's do a couple up here that are kind of coming off. Not enough paint on that one. Okay. Now let's hang this one up before I get it even messier. But you can see how pretty that is. No jelly plate. Okay, let's move that. I'm going to dry this off just a little bit, so maybe I won't make a mess on the next paper. Okay. Let's do this real quick and see if we can pull up some of this paint off of here. Okay, I don't want to make any more of a mess on other papers than I have to. But I kind of want to leave a little bit of that print on here because I might do something with it someday. This is a wallpaper, a vinyl wallpaper that I got for $1 at the thrift store. I thought it'd make good underpaper because it's not really white, and so I was hoping it wouldn't glare as much in the camera. I don't know. This I did with just a brayer over the top of some Post-it notes. So there was no jelly plate involved in that one. Okay. Let's see if we can. Here it is. So I know I have one that's. Use up this paint. Okay. And we may do, let's do a different color flower on top of that. That'll be fun. And I think that, where's that orange I have? I think that would be fine. Because if it mixes with this, it won't be an issue. In fact, it might be really pretty if it does. So we'll just encourage that. Oh, I'm letting it get too painty, and so it's sliding around. Do as I say, not as I do. Oops. I think that's enough orange on that one. So what else can we do while we've got those two colors that will look okay with them? Let's do some yellow. We can kind of mix that in with the orange. It won't be a problem. Ooh. Okay, let's add some mostly yellow. Now he's back out here wanting in. Okay, we're going to call that one good. I like that. You can't decide if it's fall or spring, but it's pretty either way. I'm coming, Cubby. Come on. Okay. Now then we've got, once again, the same paint all over the place issue. Okay. We picked up most of that stuff. I'm going to dry it just a little bit before we go on. I just realized what time it is. I'm going to have to pause a minute and go take my son to work. Be back in a sec. Well, I got back and started putting paint down, ready to play some more, and forgot that I hadn't started the video back up. I'm trying to put the paint on pretty thick on this one because I want to try this. It's hard to get it to stay put. I'm not sure why that does that, but anyway. Okay. I was not prepared enough. I should have. Let me move this for a second. Let's put some of this paint down over here. Oops. Okay. Just wanted to clean that off some. Now we're going to try this. I haven't ever tried to do it like this. I've always done it on a jelly plate, but we're going to see. Oops. Well, I got some, but not as much as I would have liked. I like that one though. Okay, I think I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of this. I'm just going to do it because the other didn't turn out as good as I wanted. All right, we added some more to that one too. Okay, let's hang this one up. Actually, I think I better lay that out. It looks like it might decide to tear or something if it's hung up. This one is just where I brayered off and rolled the thing, and so sometimes the cleanup page is as pretty as the one you're actually working on. Just roll this out. I know I've said this before, but it dries a lot faster and you can work without your next paper sticking to it better if you dry it off. I mean, roll it out so that it's thinner. Okay. I lost some bubbles. That may be why I'm having trouble working this. Plus, I just am not used to using it. Let's dry this a little bit here. That's not bad. All right, I've got another one here. This is what's on the front of it. I did that on a jelly plate. We're going to do something on the back of it without the jelly plate. Okay. Trying to decide what I want to do. I actually think I want to put a stencil down and just do some spray. I think that this is strong enough that the sprays won't come through. I hope I'm right about that. Let's see. We're going to just lay this right on top here. And then we're going to do some. These sprays are made with red dye, the liquid red dye, and a little bit of water and some alcohol. So they dry faster than water-based sprays, which is one of the cool things about using them. This is not cool. Okay, we're about to, I'm going to need to I'm going to need to refill those soon. Let's see what else I've got on here that I can, let's just do this. Woo, look at that. That's pretty. I like that. Okay, let's see if we can get some here without ruining what we've already done. Not really. But that's good. That's good. I like that. Okay. I think I'm actually going to spray a little bit more so I can get so I can get this end of it. There we go. All right. I like that. Turned out good. Alrighty. Let's see what this one looks like underneath. I like that too. If I had been thinking better, I would have done something to cover up the snowflakes before I put that on, but I wasn't. So we've got snowflakes underneath our spring flowers here, but I still think it's pretty. Okay. All right. Next, we're going to play on this one, and I'm going to just leave that side like that. We're just going to work on this side. One moment. Sorry about that. My mom was on the phone and I needed to talk to her. So, okay, I'm going to do the same thing with these sprays and these stencils. These are clear stencils. And I'm thinking that probably the colors will come through where it's white, and that might look cool. So we're going to go ahead and do it. Let's see. See if I know what I'm talking about or not. A lot of this stuff, by now you probably know, is experimentation where I'm concerned. I like to try new things, so we're going to try something new here. It's okay. And let's try this one. And now we'll try this one. Add it. Okay. Now I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I'm just going to lay this one down on top of it and see what we can pull up. I see a little of it coming through on this one, but look at that. Oh, I love it. That's so pretty. And let's see what we got under here. I like that one too. And it came through a little bit, just enough to make that not completely white anymore. So I'm happy with that. Leaves some room for somebody to journal or something, but gives them some doodling spots too. Okay, let's see. And here's another one. What do I want to do now? I've got some texture-y things over here that I want to play with. So I think I'm going to put some paint in here, and I'm going to brayer it off on here, and we'll do this first for the background, and then we'll add some more stuff on top of it. Let's see if okay. I think we're going to use this one. What's on that side? This is what's on the other side. Okay. let's start with this. Oh, I had to buy me a new one of these because I can't survive without my metallic cobalt blue. Actually, no, I'm not either. I was going to say might as well use up some other stuff first, but I'm not going to. I'm going to go ahead and use this. It's one of my favorite colors, so. Okay. Come on. This is not a happy brayer. Not sure how I feel about that. If you can press down, it works, but if you can't press down really good, it like on that, you know, it just goops up on one side, and then you have to go over here and probably work better on the jelly plate. Anyway, we're gonna put it down, see what happens. Okay. That doesn't, these places where I didn't tear the paper off, they don't show up as much on when you do it this way. I guess because I had to roll it down so hard. Anyway, there's the bottom layer. And I need to put this off on something. I think I like that one. I don't know why I had it up there. Trying to find one that needs something. Well, I have a whole bunch of them, but I don't know where they are right now. We'll just get this and put the rest of the paint off on this. I'm not very impressed, Martha, with your brayer. I just have to tell you. There's got to be a way to widen this out or something so that it'll roll easier. It's just ridiculous. Okay, let's do it this way. Okay, and now I got some blue on that one. Now we want to do something else on here. And I think I'm going to dry it just a little bit. Okay. Let's see. Well, where is that? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm having trouble finding the paint I'm looking for. Okay, there it is. Sorry. Okay. I think I'm going to have to work with that a little bit before I... Okay, let's do this one a little bit. And I'm going to do it on here. Okay, let's see what we can do. Well, it definitely adds some texture. I'm not sure I'm impressed with it, but it definitely adds some texture. Okay. Let's put this aside and do some of this over here. Well, I'm making a little noise. Sorry about that. Okay. That one's looking kind of cool too, so. And then let's go ahead and roll the rest of this orange off on this. Maybe we can print some fall leaves on it later. Ah. Okay. Let's dry this one a little bit. Okay. And I think I want to do this and see how this will work on here. Okay. Let's roll it off on here. Okay, well this isn't working as well as I thought it would. So that's kind of sad. So some things do work better on the jelly plate. I'm not trying to discourage people from getting a Gelli plate. I'm just trying to encourage people to go ahead and paint Painty papers, even if they don't have one. So let's just do some rolling off on here. Okay. Well, let's put some of this on here. Okay. And where's my other black piece? Let's do some let's see what this one will do. That does leave some texture. You can tell where I'm pressing hard because the paint's come off in that area. So let's try to press in some different areas and see. Okay, you can see some texture from that. Okay. I thought there was another page. I actually think I'm happy with that one. I don't want to, not going to do anything to it. I've got some more of this. I need to do something with it. Okay, let's add something to this one. Okay. All right, we need to get rid of the rest of this red paint. So let's see what we can do with this. This is a little bit more defined pattern, so I'm hoping it'll. Would show up a lot better if this wasn't black, but it's what I've got out here, so. Okay. Let's go ahead and okay. I don't know if you can even see that at all. It's really too dark to be on this black paper. But it looks kind of like this on there. Except it's on black. Okay. Well, I finished all the papers I really wanted to work on and messed around on a couple of extras, so I think I'm going to call it a day. And I didn't even get to putting circles on. Let's do some circles. Let's do some circles because I like circles. Let's use this color. And we've got 3 different sizes of circles here, so we will use those. We'll start with the big one. Okay. That's enough of those. I'm going to let that dry just a second while I put some on here. You can see the circles even if you can't see what's underneath them. We're testing the theory that you can't have too many circles. Okay. There's that. Let's go ahead and put some circles on this one. Oh, we've got some more of this color paint. All right, let's do one more. Let's set that aside. I made the mistake last time of when I set this down, I set it down like that. Not a good plan. It stuck to my underpaper. So don't do that. Okay. And always roll off your brayer. Alrighty. Let's find something we can use, different colors that'll go good with this and go good on the black, because I want to use them I want to use them on all of them. So let's find somewhere. I have some lime green. Where is that? It's evergreen, but that's not the one I'm looking for. Uh-oh. Well, just a minute. I threw some paint away. Not what I'm trying to do. That's orange. Oh, maybe we'll do some gold, since I can't seem to find that lime green. I don't think I threw it away. Oh, here it is. Okay. We'll do some lime green. We may do some gold later, but we'll put it on the top. Okay. Getting a lot of texture just from goopy paint on this. I don't know how that'll work out in a journal, you know, if we use these as journal pages. I like the goopy texture, but I don't know how it will translate. Just kind of linking all of these together on this one because they're close enough together I can do that. And then we'll add in a few extras to make it somewhat on this one. I'm just putting one where each of the blue circles are, just like I did on the first one. Okay. I'm running out of places to lay those. There's that one. There's that one. And now we'll do the small ones. Let me clean up some of this paint, or at least make it where it won't get goopy on the back of the other pages. All right, let's start back with this one. And I think I'm going to see if I can clean up some of this to put the gold down. Okay. I've got this one that's the same Donna Wakley. It's called Gilt, but it's a gold, but it's thick like the other one, so I think it'll play better with them than my Artist Loft is not quite as thick. You don't have to make an obvious pattern like I'm doing. It looks just as cool if it's completely random, but I just tend to make a pattern when I do circles. I think I could probably add a few more gold circles in there that are not part of the pattern, because there's a lot of space in there to do that, and it won't you know, mess with anything really. Okay, I think we're going to let that do that. And we'll put some gold dots on here. And I'm kind of stuck in a rut when it comes to my dots, but it's the way I like them. You can do them a different way. It will be great. And I'm going to do a few random dots in here with this gold too. Okay, I think that's good. One more. Okay. With this, I'm just going to put this one. I am just going to put them random because once you get those green ones on there, it doesn't really have a whole lot of a pattern to it. Almost got all we can do here. This is something that probably would look better cut up into something smaller, because it just looks kind of weird. Let's just keep going till I run out of paint here. Keep thinking, surely I'm going to run out of paint in a second. Okay. We're going to call that good. Alrighty. I'll take a second and show you what we've done. These are pretty easy to remember because we just did those. But this is what they look like, the finished product. And we did this one. And it looks like that on the other side, which was from another time. And we did this, which bled through a little bit on that. And we did a couple more of those. And we did that. That definitely needs something more. Let me put that up there and think about it a minute. We might do that one before we go. We worked on this one. So there you go. We did that one. And it looks like that on the other side. We did this one. Just kind of drying off our stamps and stuff. We did this one. And we did that one. And we did this one that I think needs a little something else too. So we may work on those two before we go. We did that one. And I just added to this one those orange flowers when I was putting stuff up. Okay, so let's think of something to do with this one. I have this thing that I made. It's kind of filling in, so it won't maybe be as good as it was when I first made it. I need to make another one because I really like that. Here's a couple of little flowers we can use. Let's see what else we've got down here that we can use. Here's a bigger one. So let's just play with those a little bit. I think I'm going to go really bold and do some of these colors. These kind of neon acrylics. But I need to clean this off so I don't end up making a mess. Well, it's almost dry, so it doesn't really matter. Okay. I think I'm going to start with these, and then I'm going to do the big flower, and then I'll do the two little flowers. And we'll do each one of them a different color. So I'm going to start with the swirls. I think we'll make the swirls purple. Yep, I definitely need to make a new one of these because it's not coming off as well as it used to. And I'm fine with these all overlapping. I think that'll be good. Okay. Where's my... We'll clean up our paint on here. Okay. determined to blow around. Okay, we got the purple. And for this big flower, I think I will make it pink. These kind of make dendritic type prints. Which some people may like and some people may not like. I like it because it's different from what you usually get. Okay, I think we're going to call that good. And where is my... Okay. Oops. Pick that up. I had a little more paint this time left over, so it's... Okay. Now we will do some orange. Not going to put as much out this time. Okay. I think it's time for me to make some new ones of all of these because they've all been used so many times. The paint's kind of filled in any of the details. But I'm liking it. Okay, yellow. Okay. Let's see if I can get this one up where you can actually see it. That one's very textured. It's going to take a long time to dry. Oh, I forgot we were going to put something on here. Let me clean some of this up real quick. Okay, let's put this down. What do we want to put on top of it? We could run some tire tracks on it. We haven't tried that one, so let's do that. And all right, let's do some gold. The problem with the okay. Kind of makes a plaid. See if we can define some of those a little bit better. Alrighty. That turned out cool. Looks almost like zippers. Alrighty. Thank y'all very much. Now you have no excuse to make painty papers. God bless you. Bye-bye.